This project uses a double-layered fabric to cut two pieces at once. Match the selvages with the right sides together before pinning the pattern to the fabric. Place the pattern piece onto the fabric. Remember that if your fabric has a pattern direction or nap, you must place the pattern piece at the top of the fabric pattern direction. To ensure the pattern is placed straight on the fabric, use the straight grain line arrow to measure and check for accuracy of placement before pinning the rest of the pattern in place. To check for accurate placement, measure from each point of the grain line arrow to the matched selvages. As you do so, place a pin on the grain line to hold the pattern in place. The measurement from each arrow to the selvage should be the same. This equal measurement indicates that the grain line arrow is in line with the lengthwise grain and is therefore placed appropriately on the fabric. Place pins roughly 3 to 5 inches apart around the outside of the pattern, beginning with the corners, then filling in the middle and in between as necessary. Pins should be placed parallel to the pattern edge to prevent cutting the pins while cutting out the pattern. Use dressmaker's shears to cut out the fabric around the pattern with long, smooth cuts to prevent jagged edges. Be sure not to cut any pins as you move around the pattern. As you reach the single and double notches on the pattern, remember to notch out away from the pattern edge. If you forget to cut a notch, mark the notch on the fabric using a fabric marking pen. Double notches can be cut out easily by cutting up the side of the first triangle, then across the top of the 2 points and down the far side of the second triangle. Transfer the markings for the 2 fold lines and the casing opening dots. To transfer the markings, we will be using the tracing wheel, transfer paper, and fabric marking pen. To transfer the 2 fold lines, begin by removing any pins that are in the fold line area. Leave the rest of the pattern attached to the fabric. Before transferring your fold lines, check to see whether the right sides of the fabric are together. If you are using a solid fabric, the right sides will be those that are already touching. Fold the transfer paper with right sides together. Place the fabric between the transfer paper like a sandwich, so that the sides of the paper with the chalk or wax is against the wrong sides of your fabric. To accurately transfer the lines, use a dressmaker's ruler to help transfer a clear, straight fold line. Press firmly and run the transfer wheel along the line and the ruler's edge, making one clear line. If your fabric was laid out with the wrong sides together, fold the transfer paper with its wrong sides together and place in between the fabric layers to transfer the fold lines again to the wrong side of the fabric. To transfer the casing opening dots, place a pin through the center of each dot, pushing all the way through to the second layer of fabric. Use a fabric marking pen to draw around the pin on the wrong side of both layers of fabric. The dot you make should be the same size and shape as the one shown on the pattern. Once you have marked the initial placement of the dots, you can always go back and darken the dots to make them show more clearly on the fabric.